Hello and welcome to the Knockout League. This time we'll be doing a challenge match between Killiest and Kiragaki. Again, will be a first to 5. Let's go. Kiragaki ranked number 10 on the league rankings. Killiest number 4. Killiest known for his Roger, sometimes Angus, occasionally Eddie. And Kiragaki known for solo maining Vile. Now, Angus I think does even worse than Roger in this matchup, so I mean, I already know what's gonna happen, but if I didn't know what's happening, I would say that you probably expect to just see the Roger Vile throughout this entire set. And as a man who has grinded this matchup a lot, thankfully provide much insight on the do's and don'ts, interesting interactions that happen. But if I had to put this matchup in a nutshell, it's play neutral carefully, win neutral, get Oki, and win off of Oki. Vile is going to be going for camping, throwing out his projectiles, just making it hard for the Roger to approach, and hoping to just prey on the Roger's mistakes. The Roger, of course, can counter camp in a way. Basically just make it hard for the Vile to consistently set up his projectiles. Can also occasionally preemptively punish the Vile. And having meter especially helps Roger in this matchup, both in disadvantage and in neutral. Disadvantage because it allows him to have those, like right there, frame 1 invul reversals that he doesn't get otherwise. Although in that situation, Vile was going for an unsafe mix-up anyway. So it could have been with other stuff, but I think you get the idea. You can't really contest Vile so easily in his block strings without those reversals. Because then you get stuff like that, where you get a Razor, and if you try to contest it, you'll just end up with a Razor in your fingernails. And also I like to note that in that direction, Kiragaki charged the Razor. Because weird thing is that like after Vile 4H, his Razor becomes a low for whatever reason. But when you charge Razor, it becomes an overhead. So that was a really nice mix-up on that right there. Kiragaki recently has been trying to go for the 4H, and it's Vile's one anti-air move. And it can work out for him sometimes, but it can be hard to convert off of it. The big thing that you'll probably see later in this match is that it's very possible for the Roger to punish it just by mixing up the JH timing. Here, in these situations, you don't go for risky stuff. Either party, really. The Roger is is working on making space. Roger's working on making space. The Vile is working on trying to make openings. And I'm without any bar, but I get the 5H. Yeah. Razor is, though as good as Razor is to just make all of Kiragaki's block string stuff safe, it is still -3 on block, which means I can mash and force him to block in return. And I get the 5H, which can be really useful with its armor. However, it doesn't really work at mid-range, and sometimes Kiragaki just puts out a different move earlier, then it just doesn't work because of the startup. This is a nice juicy combo. I get the guaranteed reset. That's one of the big differences in this matchup, is that the Vial has to work on capitalizing on his Oki more than the Roger. Also getting winning neutral more than the Roger, because Roger is going to deal way more damage than Vial can off of one interaction, like 815, that kind of stuff. Also, that right there is what I was talking about. I was talking about using timing out as a threat to make the opponent do what they don't want to do. In that case, I just back off multiple times, condition him to just try and jump in, gain as much space as possible, then just let the EXJS rip. That's another thing, is that I feel like the Vial has to pay attention to when the Roger does and doesn't have meter, even in neutral, because in neutral, the only way Roger can successfully contest Vial's airspace, at least consistently anyway, is through using EXJS, because that's a frame 1 air grab and has more priority than his regular air grab, which is frame 5. Which may not seem like that big of a difference, but it's a big difference right there. Regular JS wouldn't have worked there. I feel like Kiragaki needs to try playing more aggressive at the beginning of the round. He's just been backing off, and I've been just jumping in. I dropped the combo there. He bursts out of it. This right here, I'm actually up on HP. I do recognize that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a big thing. That when you're directly above a Vial, a grounded Vial, it's not a situation the Vial wants to be in, because that JH, it can be a cross-up mix-up. So I believe that's 1-1. Going into game 3 here. Ooh, the bubble, yeah. Catches me just jumping into his airspace, and then manages to just bubble hit me while I'm not prepared. Even when I'm not prepared and I block it, that's still good for him, because it means he gets more airspace, and space is exactly what the Vial wants. Right there. That's the downside of using 4H as Vial. That I can just mix up. And as Vial, the risk reward, you always want it to be in your favor. That means usually being as safe as possible in your decision making, at least I think. Because, again, Roger just deals so much more damage than a Vial. And a big thing though, a weird thing that really shouldn't be a thing, and it kind of sucks, is that Kiragaki has trouble buffering his EX Rising Knee on Wake Up, which is supposed to be basically Vial's saving grace in these situations, on these Wake Up situations. Because that's actually just actual invul that lasts up to the hitbox. See, I hit him with the timing mix-up again. Being so careful with this. Ooh, there. I tried to JS there. Got a regular JS though. This is Kiragaki's time. Oh, but then he jumps and I can react to that. Alright, it's 2-1. And just fast forward this real quick. These matches be lasting a while. It's already been 10 minutes, and it's only gone through 3 games. Yeah, that's the nature of this matchup. Because of how careful the characters have to be. And there we go. That was a successful 4H. There, that forearm. I'm not as proficient as Spiritus with the 4Rs, unfortunately. So, the times where I do it and it works out, I don't guarantee a punish. That too. Yeah, and I have to be better at just not autopiloting the 2H. I just react to those faster. That was an accident, but I'll make it work. The cross up JH. That's a good thing about Roger Oki mid stage, is that you can cross them up with JH. I tried to go for the reset. I'm telling you, it would have worked. Also, no, I'll have okay. Not sure what just happened there. This is a bad situation for me, but I managed to get the bar off of the chip damage. But Kiragaki hits me out in the air to air, air to air, air to air. Oof, there we go. He was I bet you he was trying to 4H, but I already crossed him up before he could input it. You might be wondering why sometimes I don't just let the EXJS hit. All I have to say is just remember how... Oh, there we go. People like to say... Some people like to say that Roger's 5S is kind of broken. But honestly, yeah, I don't think you really want to use it in Oki that much over just like a hit. Just hitting high or low. Kiragaki's just trying to camp right here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, if he hits a razor, sometimes he has too much lag, and I can just 2R him, and he'll take the damage. Sometimes he'll trade, but the trade is always favorable for the Roger, unless he's low on HP. There you go. Yeah, the Val fall speed, kind of crazy, and Kiragaki is running out of time here. He's been camping. He does get the bubble, but does he have enough time? No, he doesn't. That's a timeout. Oh boy, I popped off, by the way. Just so you know, I popped off over that timeout. Oh boy. Spacing from Kiragaki is coming out. Yep. 4H. Ooh, that reached. Fortunately, AXJS has a nice, juicy hitbox. I don't know how I dropped that. I think there's some kind of weird scaling that I wasn't used to. It was like a weird starter. Right, here we go. Got the Vuddle. Oop. Oh, but I hit those. Yeah, I think that's when the puddle kind of goes against him, is the block strings, that the razor just goes past me. He gets less hits than he wants. Or I might have just hit the EX5S at the right timing, because it is frame 3 for whatever reason, which is not very fun, but it's a thing. And again, Val's risers are... Oh my god. Like right there. It's frame 3 grab box. It's gonna punish things that literally no one else can. That's how like supers, I think. Oop, that is a glitch, unfortunately. That's what happens when you grab them and they're too low below you. And we agreed on basically just this would happen. I just 5H them. I think it does deal less damage than a 2S would, but yeah. This is a really good situation for me. Winning neutral first as Roger is big. You get the bar, you get them in the corner. You probably do a ton of damage. There we go, another time mix up on the JH. Kiragaki. Not sure what else Vile. What's a better option for Vile there? Ooh. Yeah, that's another thing. Also in the close quarters combat. There's like any close quarters interactions. It's just having meter as Roger is just so useful. This is not a very good situation for Kiragaki. I have about 2 bars now. And he's got a lot of health to go through if he wants to put this game into round 3. So that puddle's going to help him a lot with that health situation. Ooh, he tries to jump over me again. He tried to like it is possible to jump behind the grab box on EX2S, but I was a little bit out of the corner, so he actually crossed me up instead. This year, Valiant got get more aggressive here. That was a good start, but the jump back. Catch him. I read that jump back with EXJS. Well, we gotta be ready for that. Oh yeah, I forgot. This unfortunately, Kiragaki's knockout crashed. So we have the replays are in 2 parts. So here's the second part. So this is 4-1 in my favor. So this is Kiragaki's last chance to bring it back. Let's rock, baby. Yeah, again, not quite as proficient as Spiritus with the Roger 4R. Kiragaki, you're gonna put me in the corner now. If I charged that a little bit, I would have gotten the punish there. Oof, with the jumping mix up. Yeah, Kiragaki was hoping to get a block string there. There we go. I'm not sure if that EX2S was intentional or not. Felt kind of weird considering the situation he was in at the time. Yeah, I tried to go for the reset, but also wouldn't have even worked, even if I had timed it correctly. And that's the bad burst. You can actually punish, if you're on the ground, you can actually punish bursts on reaction with Roger's super. Something I learned from this matchup specifically. It's come in handy occasionally. It's a big threat, especially because I think the average HP amount is like 1600, and you gain full super and a full desperation meter at 900 damage taken, which leaves you with only 700 HP left. Although you probably get it earlier from just using your remix moves. But again, you only have so basically have a 200 damage window before you're in super kill range. And this is a very... It's not a good situation for the Roger. The chip damage. But Val doesn't have any space left. I pull it out. There's a sliver of HP left. And that's the set. 5-1. That's the Roger Val matchup for you.